ABC Listen. Podcasts, radio, news, music and more.
And there it is! The Matildas have done it! They waltz into the semi-final of the Women's Asian Cup in 2026 with an all-important win over DPR Korea. Courage, tenacity and grit.
The Matildas are just 2 wins away from claiming an Asian Cup. That quarter-final victory against North Korea was simultaneously beautiful and ugly. Sam Kerr and Alanna Kennedy, they scored stunners. The rest of the game was a bit of a bun fight. As you're about to hear from Coach Joe Montemurro, it's the kind of win that delivers belief in spades. As they're ready for China and their former coach Ante Milicic on Tuesday night, the Tillies are a team chock full of conviction. I'm Patrick Stack. This is ABC Sport Daily. The Matildas and coach Joe Montemurro, 2 wins away from an historic Asian Cup. Joe, you spoke after the victory on Friday about that kind of win, backs to the wall, under siege, delivering belief. And I just wanted to know, since Friday, have you seen anything that kind of augments that installation of a new level of belief being unlocked with this group?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Obviously, there's a spring in everyone's step in terms of their ability now to dream a bit. To dream on the fact that we can go forward in this tournament, and we've had a really steady sort of belief through the whole camp, through the tournament. But obviously, the last couple of days has been fantastic. You've
been so honest during this tournament, really direct in your disappointment after the South Korea draw.
Oh, we've got to keep the ball better. We can't afford to. It's been the thing that I've been endorsing from day one, and when we do it well. And then we started to force things when we didn't need to, when the momentum wasn't there, and the game got scrappy, and it got to a point which I didn't like, to be honest.
After the quarter's win, I was intrigued to see you talk about being adaptable, that you want to be a possession-based team. It's in your DNA, but you are willing to cast that aside to do what was necessary. And I just wanted to understand, how hard is it to make that shift when it's something that's so perhaps at odds with what is your football DNA as a coach in a group?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously the possession-based idea is who I am as a football coach, and I believe that it's for us to grow also as a nation. It's very, very important that we dominate games and have these moments of understanding when we can dominate games. The reality is that our preparation has probably not been enough for me to instill a lot of the ideas on a consistent and put it to the test. So. I think I probably used a little bit of my experience in many finals overseas, where I have dominated games and lost them in the last minute and so on to say, okay, well, this one here, we've got to find a different way. Look, sometimes the game tells you the story. The way the game goes tells you the story on how you need to approach it. And I can honestly say to you that our approach wasn't to have our backs against the wall and North Korea were fantastic, and we had to adjust to what the game told us.
Alicia Ferguson was talking to us on this show about the weight the group this carried with the whole golden generation tag. Is that something that you see as a coach, and do you sense that they're maybe managing that and carrying that better than ever before?
Look, I see it purely as an honour to be part of this amazing group that have done so much, not just for football, but for sport and for I suppose the environment of Australian sports landscape. And no, I've used all that as an advantage because they are a real tight knit group, a real family, and the beauty has been the acceptance of the players who have come in and how they've taken to them and really become role models for the next generation.
I love this team. Ever since I've stepped foot into camp, I've loved every single second of it, and I'm someone who wants to try and make everyone happy and the vibe's high, so as much as I can do that, I will. I've
seen it purely as a positive, but no, look, whether there's individual pressure and weight on each player, that I don't know, but the way they're conducting themselves within the environment, within the group has been absolutely amazing.
Alanna Kennedy is just having an insane time of it, Joe. 5 goals in 4 games.
North Korea get a touch. The shot on goal is a thing of beauty. Guess who? It's another goal! You would never believe it, but Alanna Kennedy simply cannot miss in this tournament. She has been unstoppable when chances have fallen her way.
Can you help us understand why it seems she's having such a moment in this tournament?
Oh, look, I think, Alana's always been a player probably in the last few years that's struggled to find a level of consistency and probably not had the backing and the belief behind her to say, go ahead, make some mistakes, it's okay, but when you need to do the good things, do them well. And I think that's probably where she's at in playing that role, in front of the back four and commanding the links between the attack and the defence in the middle of the park. And, she's taken that role on with a lot of maturity and she's taken it on with a lot of responsibility, but also with the freedom to be who she wants to be. And I think that's been really important.
Fascinating to me to hear Sam Kerr speaking after that win, to be at pains to say she still feels like she's finding her top level.
I've played a lot of minutes in the last week that I hadn't played over the last few months, but I'm working towards getting there, and hopefully by the final, it's more about confidence and feeling now. I'm playing where I am, but I know there's still moments in the game where I think I can turn, I can do more, but I've been obviously out for a while. I've got to find my feet again. I've got to find my confidence, and it's more a mental game now than anything, but goals like tonight and wins like tonight really help my confidence.
I mean, she continues to score anyway and deliver. To see that sort of output, despite not being 100%, Joe, I mean, is there anything you've learned about this star new over the course of this tournament, just seeing the way she's been able to juggle her limited preparation and build and the leadership capacity and deliverance that she's bringing on the pitch?
I suppose, it comes with the maturity and it probably, answers a lot of questions on why she's a world-class player. She's able to manage the moments. She understands what the game needs in terms of those situations. And obviously, at this level of international football, especially against the top teams like North Korea, it is about moments. And the world-class players, the top players, manage those moments at the right time. And just her football intelligence, her smarts to understand when to press, when not to press, when to be part of the group and when to, be part of the scenario with the ball. I think it's been important for her, and that's why she's a world-class player.
Do you sense that she's on the cusp of delivering a kind of career moment for herself and the Matildas in this tournament?
I hope so. I know she wants to. And I think all the players really want to contribute in the way that they believe is going to be forward. And we're talking about Alanna Kennedy and Sam Kerr and all those great players and so on. But the reality is that every player, even the ones who aren't getting match minutes, have been amazing at training and have been an integral part to make sure that we keep our levels very high, keep our focus, keep our humility, but also take each game as it comes for what it is and be prepared for it.
Two who didn't get any minutes for obvious reasons is Steph Catley and Hayley Rasso, as they sort of had their, head knock struggles.
Steph Catley's just gone down again.
Yeah, I think she was pointing to her head net. I just saw her go back and play. Maybe she's still struggling from that head knock. She said she pointed to it. She's got her head in her hands.
Are we going to see that duo start against China, and how might they elevate your game?
Look, they're closer to being available. We've just got to tick a few boxes today, and hopefully we have them available in the squad. And then I'll make some decisions tonight and tomorrow morning in regards to how tactically we approach the game and whether they're the profiles to bring us to the next level.
What do you need to see from them in order to have that belief that they're ready for it from a physical standpoint?
Yeah, probably a bit of just high intensity football, a bit of contacts today, and we think that we'll get that today and have them available.
Mackenzie Arnold, wow, immense in goal.
Goes back to Cook Hayung, who shoots! Arnold again! Saves to her rights, denies the North Korean captain from a long-range effort. The Minister for Defence. She's back. Mackenzie Arnold had no doubt that was going in. Full stretch save.
9 incredible saves. I mean, she kind of looked on the outer coming into this tournament and has ended up being so vital again. The brick wall returns. How did you keep her mentally engaged and believing in her contribution to the group when, as I say, it appeared as though she might be struggling to hold on to that crucial position?
Yeah, look, it's part of the massive challenges, and I think we look at each game, but I think the public don't see all the other bits and pieces that come with it. I mean, Macca was in pre-season, so obviously she wasn't 100% ready in terms of match minutes. The missing link was match minutes, and we probably got 3 or 4 players that were in that scenario. Some players were playing a lot. Some players were coming back from injury. So, we had to manage a lot of those pre-Asian Cup and obviously now in understanding where they're at through the tournament. But Macca has done well. She's we know she's a quality goalkeeper, and obviously we did the right thing in probably not playing her straight away in the first 2 games and just giving her a little bit more time, and she's come good for that.
Just finally, one man who knows many of this group somewhat well is China coach and ex-Tilly's coach, Ante Milicic. You're someone who has managed, I'm sure, against players that you've coached previously at a club level. Would he use his knowledge? Would you expect that to be quite crucial in this game? Are you expecting that to be quite an advantage for Ante?
Oh, totally. They're a very good side. They're very well organised. I mean, they've been together since the 6th of January, so they've had a good 6 weeks lead in. They're super organised, and they're not going to give us much time to breathe. And obviously they'll have the solutions because they've been able to work on those solutions. And look, Ante's a great coach. He's a smart football person that understands the dynamics of these moments and these occasions. And I think as much as the game's going to be played on the pitch with the players, there's going to be definitely some tactical adjustments from both of us that we're going to have to make throughout the adventure.
The Matildas play 6 p.m. Perth time Tuesday night against China. The winner will go to the AFC Asian Cup final. Live coverage on ABC Listen. Joe, your final beckons. Thanks for your time.
Pleasure. All the best.
Headlines. The Iranian soccer asylum seeker story continues to shift in front of our eyes. 5 members of the original 7 who were granted safe harbour in Australia have now backflipped and left the country. Those women have joined the rest of the team in Malaysia. Local Iranian diaspora members campaigning for the women to stay claimed that the staff member granted asylum was passing on threats from the Iranian regime. Now, government sources say they have looked into those claims and have no reason to believe them. We're keeping an eye on this story, but it's moving quickly, so check on the ABC Sport website for up-to-date coverage. Formula One. It was bad when Oscar Piastri crashed in the warm-up lap in Melbourne. Is it worse that an electrical fault meant the McLaren cars didn't even get out of the garage in China? That is a diabolical start to the F1 season for the Papaya team. Who won, though, I hear you asking? Mercedes' 19-year-old Italian driver Kimi Antonelli from teammate George Russell. Ferrari's Lewis Hamilton was third. That is his first podium with the team. It took 26 starts to get there. Huge news in the AFL. Swan star Errol Goulden dislocated his shoulder in the big win over Brisbane, and the club has revealed he will need surgery this week and will miss, quote, approximately 4 months of football. What a blow to the red and white. Meanwhile, on another matter, the Swans have apologised for removing a reference to the Jewish community in an opening round pre-game tribute to the victims of the Bondi attacks. The club says they were trying to reflect the whole community, but Sydney has apologised for the move. This came the same day the AFL was referred to the Royal Commission for Anti-Semitism as a consequence of the matter. Alex Johnson broke the record for the most tries scored in Australian Rugby League history on Friday, and he has got a statue by Monday. How fun were the scenes from the Sydney Football Stadium Friday night as the punters stormed the field in celebration?
The stands are emptying. It's pandemonium. Alex Johnston stands alone as Rugby League's greatest try scorer. Well, there are a few to start, and now they're flooding on in Cardinal and Myrtle.
The postscript has been oddly full of bickering. You had some unhappy that Bunnies fan and Prime Minister Anthony Albanese was among those to jump the fence. The argument being that the PM was breaking the rules. Feels a bit churlish to me. Then there was South's chairman, Nick Pappas, who told media he was disappointed that Venues New South Wales and the Roosters refused to mention the Bunnies by name on the scoreboard on the night, instead referring to them as, quote, the visiting team. Interestingly, Chooks forward Lindsay Collins told Channel 9 Papers, I don't like those sorts of things. You have to be a good sport. I don't know who had control over there, but I wouldn't have done it. Elsewhere, injury calamities for Newcastle. Kalen Ponga will miss 2 months with a hamstring issue. Dylan Brown will miss a month with a knee injury. That is a whole lot of salary cap allocation and talent on the sidelines for Newcastle. And finally, Hannah Green has won the Women's Australian Open by 1 shot in Adelaide. Green is the first Australian to win this tournament since Kari Webb, way back in 2014. I'm Patrick Stack. This is ABC Sport Daily, produced by Poppy Penny. Thanks to Paramount Plus for the extra audio used in this episode.